So the Boss MS-3 originally came out in June 2017. It only has 3 loops, but when combined with the 112 inbuilt effects, stereo capabilities, MIDI out, great layout and flexible setup options, it covers a lot of ground in a small package. It's also a relatively cost-effective way of having a lot of effects on a small pedal board. Now, I'm not going to spend too long today going over all the different effects, but you've got all your basics covered like reverbs, wahs, whammies, and other modulation effects, as well as some unique effects that we'll look at today. The MS-3 also has drives, compressors, and a noise gate. Everything's 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. You can have 6 effects going at once and save up to 200 patches. The unit doesn't have any amp sims, so there might be better options out there if that's the route you want to go. Also, there's inbuilt buffers that you can't turn off. I think on the bigger Boss loop switches you can, but you don't have the inbuilt effects then. But it would be nice to have that option in there. So let's look at how I've got mine set up. In loop 1, I've got the Kelly 76 Rainbow Machine and the Freeze. In loop 2, I've got the Carpe Diem and Broadcast. And in loop 3, I've got the Sidecar. The Carpe Diem is like a Marshall style gain. The Broadcast I really just use on my bass actually for a bit of overdrive. And the Sidecar I use on both guitar and bass for distortion. All the other pedals are outside of the loop, so I've got the Freak Out and the Fuzz pedal first and second in the chain, and then at the other end I've got the Spark Boost and the Ditto Looper, just so I've got easy access for all those. So I'm running everything stereo today. I'm going out of the pedal board, out through the MS-3, into a Lely ABY switcher, just to avoid any ground loop hums. Left channel is the Marshall DSL into a sewer reactive load. The right channel is going straight into soft tube Marshall suite. I should also mention that the loops are all mono as well, so if you've got any stereo pedals, they'd have to be outside of the loops. If your pedals have MIDI, then you could control them through the MS-3, so that is an option there. I also have an expression pedal on the board, and I just have this set up and this is plugged into the MS-3, and I'm using it as a volume pedal. But I also have this other external foot switch, which I can then just go into a wah. And I can also use that expression pedal as a whammy. So if I go into this, for example. So another way of keeping it the board a bit smaller and just having that expression pedal for all those options. You can set that up any way you like, from patch to patch, or you can have it globally. So with this external foot switch here, I've also got a reverb on. I can turn it on and off. You can have either 2 expression pedals or 2 external foot switches as well, so you can have it any way you like there. Okay, so let's look at the actual patches now. For that little intro thing, I put a harmony effect on. Now I can obviously change between patches. And you can go up and down the banks by holding the 2 right switches and then back down holding the 2 left. But you can also have an extra function on this switch. So now that I'm on this patch, if I just tap that again, you can set it up to pretty much whatever you like there, either a loop or an effect in the unit. I have it to turn on loop 1 so I can use my compressor. You can also then go into manual mode. So if I tap this now, we've basically got in the back end of that patch, I have my one set up to turn the harmony effect on and off. I also have a Univibe set up in here as well. I've also got a tap tempo, and that's for the delay that I've got in 4. other cool thing is you can set any of these switches up to be momentary or toggle. So for example, the delay is just on at the moment. But if I go into edit mode now and change that to momentary, so quite a handy feature there. Another thing I should mention is there's no spillover between tracks. So for example, if you've got a delay on and you change to another track, you lose your delay or reverb. So the only workaround really is to you can do it within a track. So, and that delay will keep going. So you can sort of turn some effects on and off within a patch, but it would be nice to be able to change patches and have that. So just wanted to mention that. So overall, I think the effects in the MS-3 are good. Maybe not quite as nice as like an Eventide H9 or 90, but I'm happy with them, and they cover a lot of ground, like I say. So a lot of the effects I find really good, actually. So I don't think there's any problems there. So now we're going to take a little look in the menu. So let's have a little look at that. Okay, so to get into the menu, you just hit edit. Once you're in here, you can see all the different blocks. You've got effects 1, loop 1, 2, 3, effects 2, mod 1 and 2, delay, noise gate, reverb, etc. Now if I go into, say, this menu now, we can just scroll down and look at all the different effects in there. Obviously there's quite a lot in there. Now if I go back out, you can move these effects blocks around. So I can go before or after the loops, and you can do that with the delays, the reverbs, anything else as well, the modulation effects. But you can't put anything between the loops, and you also can't move the loops themselves. It's a small screen and it's a little bit fiddly, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy to change on the fly. There is a software editor as well, but I like to be able to change it on the go, so I don't really use that. Some of the effects have multiple types as well, so if we go into something like the wah, and now if I click on that, so you can sort of see here, type fat wah, you just got a cry wah, I don't know, that is a volume wah, I don't know what that is, fat wah, light wah, different types here. I usually keep it on the cry. You can also then, you can set your direct level, your effect level, and you've got most of the effects and modulation effects. You've got, different parameters you can change and set as well. So we'll just have a quick look at, say, in the modulation as well here. So that's set up as a phaser, and this one you've got 4-stage, 8-stage, 12-stage, and a biphase. So not all of them are like that, but a lot of the effects you do have more than one option for each thing. And then, like I say, and a lot of the effects you can have adjust your dry level as well. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And so you've got a good range of effects settings there. Now if we move down to, you've got your master there. If we go to output, that's where you can change it to stereo or mono. Now if we go into control, number one obviously is each one of these banks, but this is in the manual mode. So if I go in here, for example, I've set that up for effects 1, but you can change it to whatever you like there, including the tap tempo. So that's in the stomp box mode basically. If we go a bit further across here, you've got the current number. That's how you put a different effect on top. So if I tap onto a bank and then tap it again, this is where you can set that in, and I've got this one at loop 1 for my compressor. This is also where you can set the toggle to momentary or on and off. And then across here we've just got the expression pedals 1 and 2, and this is where you can set those up as well. A couple of other effects I just want to have a quick look at is one is like a freeze effect. You can sort of hear that little jittering in it, so that's the only issue with it. And I can't find any way to sort of get rid of that. My other freeze on the board doesn't have that, that's why I put that on there. But it's still a useful tool for sort of practicing and jamming over anyway. So, and the next one I want to look at is like a feedback. So that can be quite useful. It sounds a little bit like a cocktail, but I think actually quite handy, quite a handy effect there. Now there is some stereo effects in here, but I couldn't find that many, so I'm going to show you like a dual delay in here. I think one of the ones I saw was a chorus, had a stereo chorus in there, but so there's a few stereo effects in there, but let's just look at this dual delay. Alright, now let's just look at some of the drives in the MS-3. So this is just my clean-ish tone. Just slightly breaking up there. Put in the Carpe Diem. And I've got an MS-3 Overdrive here. It does sound fine. I think I prefer the analog pedal, but let's go through a couple of these other drive types in here. So you've got everything from like a mid boost, clean boost, treble boost, crunch, natural overdrive, warm overdrive. Let's try the natural overdrive. I don't really use any of these drives, so I'm sort of just checking these out for the first time really, but they seem alright. Let's go into warm overdrive. Blues overdrive. Anyway, there's a lot of options in here anyway, so there's some, quite good ones. Tube Screamers, Distortion, Rat, Governor. Let's try the Governor. Evil Zone. Yeah, I don't like that. You also got some fuzz in there as well. They feel alright under the fingers, so they're alright. They're in there anyway. Like I say, these things I don't use everything in here, so I'm not going to give too much of a detailed analysis on the overdrives. So I think out of all those ones, I quite like the natural, warm, and the Governor. So let's select one of those. little bit honky, a little bit boxy, I don't know, but it's all right. I'm sure you can tweak it a little bit. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but all right. So I've also just chucked on a compressor as well, so let's see how that goes. Definitely, you know, works all right. It makes a difference. Seems pretty good. So all in all, I think it's a great pedal, still valid in 2025 in my opinion. Depending on your needs, you know, it might be an option for you as well. So obviously there's a lot I haven't covered today, but hopefully it gives you a broad overview. I still think it's really good. I'm happy with it, and I'm not looking to change it anytime soon. I'm not sure if Boss are going to be releasing a new model of all their loop switch series in the next year or two, but you never know. So I hope that was helpful, and thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.